What if the only language left in a world built on violence is the one spoken without words, and the man who owns your silence is the only one who's ever truly heard you? In Claimed in Silence, Dafne Kross delivers an dark Mafia romance that strips away the glamour of organized crime to reveal the raw, aching humanity beneath, proving that in families where speech is currency and trust is treason, intimacy becomes the ultimate act of rebellion. This isn't just another forbidden love story with suits and guns. It's a visceral, emotionally devastating exploration of trauma, communication, and the terrifying vulnerability of surrendering control to someone whose power could destroy you, but chooses to hold you instead. From the first hushed narration, listeners are plunged into a shadowed underworld where every glance carries weight and every touch feels like both salvation and sin. Perfect for fans of morally gray heroes and high-stakes emotional tension, this audiobook serves up relentless chemistry, unflinching realism, and a bond so intense it burns away everything but truth. When mute enforcer Luca Moretti is assigned to protect Nico Rossi, the estranged son of a rival Don returning to claim his birthright, he expects duty, not desire. But as Nico navigates the treacherous politics of succession and Luca shields him from threats both external and internal, their silent dynamic shifts from obligation to something far more dangerous, recognition. Kross masterfully avoids reducing muteness to fetish or disability trope. Instead, she crafts a relationship rooted in alternative communication, where consent is negotiated through gesture and gaze, and intimacy emerges from honoring difference rather than erasing it. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Luca's disciplined stillness and Nico's guarded resilience with vocal textures that make every pause feel charged and every moment of physical proximity feel like confession. You don't just hear their bond deepen, you feel the seismic shift of two men learning to speak a language only they understand, in a world that demands they remain strangers. What elevates Claimed in Silence beyond typical Mafia fare is its nuanced portrayal of power exchange as mutual healing rather than domination. Luca isn't merely protecting Nico, he's confronting his own complicity in systems that equate strength with silence, challenging the notion that loyalty requires self-erasure. Nico doesn't fix Luca through affection, he creates space where his presence is enough, honoring his autonomy even as his own walls crumble. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing safe words written on skin, negotiating boundaries within hierarchical structures designed to deny them, and protecting each other from allies who see their bond as weakness. Supporting characters add vital texture, capos whose loyalty masks ambition, family members whose grief fuels violence, even the city itself, rendered as both sanctuary and prison, whose streets absorb centuries of silenced screams. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In worlds built on extraction, tenderness is sabotage, and love is the ultimate act of reclamation. Even the criminal underworld serves thematic depth, with codes of honor marrying emotional contracts, and violence becomes language when words fail. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into dark romance perfection. The narrator embodies Luca and Nico with remarkable distinction. Luca's presence conveyed through breath and subtle vocal shifts rather than dialogue, while Nico's voice carries steel wrapped in dawning trust, making their chemistry palpable even in stillness. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy, distant sirens marking escalating stakes, the hushed rustle of fabric during vulnerable confessions, the oppressive silence of shared spaces where heartbeat becomes dialogue, all anchor mythic stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of seduction, deliberate during moments of negotiation and internal reckoning, then surging with urgency as external threats force irreversible choices. Whether you're navigating daily commutes or lying awake in darkness, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where isolation feels absolute and connection feels like oxygen. It's storytelling as embodied rebellion, transforming passive listening into active participation in a love story that refuses to be sanitized. Ultimately, Claimed in Silence redefines Mafia romance by centering disabled agency within hierarchical frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for intense chemistry and high-stakes tension, while delivering substantive commentary on trauma, masculinity, and the radical act of choosing love in a world designed to destroy it. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether love can exist across impossible divides, or if true intimacy requires dismantling the self to meet the other, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most human act is choosing someone the world insists is less than. Press play, brace against the void, and prepare to believe that even in universes built on erasure, hearts still find ways to beat in sync. Your next favorite dark romance isn't waiting in easy redemption. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to be more than what they made you to be.